Sisters, season 2 has come to an end.
I have never felt so happy and fulfilled with my friendships, particularly my female friendships, as I do now.
I started to realize, actually, these are people who are trying to be there for you.
Yeah.
Stop pushing them away.
Yeah.
You really can't do life alone. What are our hopes for TMS in the future?
Oh boy. Hello and welcome to the To My Sisters podcast. I'm Renee.
And I'm Courtney, and we are your online sisters and hosts of the To My Sisters podcast.
Now, we are all about promoting the wellness, growth and development of a community of sisters across the world.
And sisters, today is the season finale.
Ding, ding, ding. Dun, dun, dun.
This is the last episode of
Crazy.
season 2 of the To My Sisters podcast, and it's going to be a really good but interesting one.
Absolutely.
We were wondering, how can we end the season?
Absolutely.
It's been a mad season. Season 2 has been a journey.
Boy.
And we said, you know what we can do? Go back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Our first episode, season 1, episode 1, was called Frenemies.
Yep.
And it was where we introduced ourselves. It's not on YouTube. That was before YouTube even happened. So it's called Frenemies. Go and listen to it on Spotify, Apple podcast streaming platforms. And we talked about our friendships and what we had learnt and what it had taught us.
Yeah.
As well as just fangirling over each other the whole episode. And we thought, you know what, that was great. Let's do that again.
Let's go again.
Let's go again. Because so much has actually changed in the last year.
Yeah.
TMS is a year old.
That's crazy.
1 year.
That's nuts, you know.
So we thought, you know what, let's talk about our friendship, but also let's talk about our relationship with our community, with this sisterhood community that we have had the honor of building. Let's give a TMS year-end review. The highlights, the lowlights, the lessons, all of it. And then we'll talk about our friendship, our wider friendships as well. Yeah. And then the future of this global sisterhood. So, sis, thank you for being here. Aww. And please grab a drink and let's dig deep down memory lane. Let's go. Yeah, man. So, Renee.
Yes, Miss Courtney.
Talk to us. How have you found the last year of doing this?
Wow. It has been a journey. Where to even begin? Listen, I remember like our first few episodes, we were recording in your house, literally in your bedroom. I had my bonnet on. In fact, there was multiple times we had our bonnets on.
No bras.
Nothing. Just conversations. You know, like when you pull up to your friend's house and it's like, I'm a mess, but we're going to talk about some deep stuff. And even then, remembering as we plotted out the vision of like where we want to be in like a year's time, 2 years time, 10 years time, and the beauty of being able to do this with someone like you, not just in the sense of like you being my friend, but genuinely a human like you has been such a privilege. And the highs and lows that have come with that, and the you know, the transitions, the ups and downs, the things that we've experienced just being builders of this and co-laborers of this community, and the things that we've had to like account for, the leaps that we had to take. So even like the decision to move on to YouTube, the decision to like, you know, like the little pivotal things you have to think about in the journey. So I guess I'll break it up into kind of like the highlights and then I guess the lowlights. I'll speak about the lowlights first so we can end on a high. Lowlights, TMS is hard. It's both a highlight and a low light, but big low light, TMS is hard.
TMS is not easy.
I think it's sometimes being a consumer of things, it can be easy for you to kind of like, oh, I want this and like I want to see this and I want to see this, but being on the other side of that and being a producer of a lot of the stuff, sometimes it can be tricky juggling so many things. And the fact that it's literally this podcast is just me and Courtney. There's no like team behind it.
There's no managers,
there's
editors.
nobody behind. We're the ones that are literally doing everything. We create all of our assets. We record and edit the podcast. You know, we show up every single week.
This is our studio. We manage this room. It's
you
ours.
know, we own all of our equipment.
Yeah.
The money that we put in is from our bank account. And you know, there were times where, you know, TMS was not making money. Dude, this was like, you know what I mean? Like we really invested in this and, you know, it was hard. And then again, moving according to circumstance. So I moved out at the beginning of this year. So having to now travel from one side of London to the other side of London.
We were
on a
literally
weekly
like
basis.
we were like 15 minutes away from each other initially. We were both living in our homes, our childhood homes. And then Renee, January, big girl move.
Out of here, baby.
Moved out of her home.
Packing up.
All the way to the south side of London.
Can you imagine?
Other side.
Yeah, man.
And it was like, oh, you're not 15 minutes away.
Yeah, it's like, we actually have to plan.
We have to plan this.
And then on top of that, the fact that, you know, both of us were working and we were doing other things in life. Like, we don't do TMS full time. We had to balance that. Yeah.
God willing.
We had to balance all of these competing interests and all of that kind of stuff. So that was definitely, I would say, quite tricky. And then also managing, you know, some of the emotional stuff that comes, like the emotional labor that comes as being a part of TMS, right? So as much as we love and continue to encourage you guys to kind of, you know, share your thoughts and opinions. Sometimes the thoughts and opinions we get,
keep them.
And I don't even think it's a low light in the sense of, has it really impacted me in the long term? Like, I don't feel sad about them. It's kind of like, so you actually wanted to comment this thinking that I would take this lying down. No, sorry. I'm a fighting spirit.
I think what's interesting for you as well is I was used to the internet because I had done YouTube for like 5 years. I was used to the internet. But this is a new arena for you. Very new. You've created stuff, but nothing is like brutal and out there.
Being out there has feel strange. Very strange, because it's like, I think, again, the beauty of TMS is I get to do this with you. Yeah. And I can't imagine doing this alone. And it's just like, people are watching us on the they watch and listen to us on the internet. It's crazy. So I think that was mediated by the fact that I actually have someone to do this with. And it's not like this isn't just it's a business transaction, or this is genuinely, we're actually friends. Yeah. And I think that's important to say, because oftentimes we see like content creators who are friends out of convenience, or we see content that's created with people who are acquaintances or who have met as a result of content. But the fact that we have several years of history between us and actual experiences between us meant that I felt like way more comfortable just being myself online, and knowing that the way that I'm represented online is actually fairly accurate. I would hope that if you met me in person, what you've seen and what you've heard is pretty similar.
You're even better.
Or even better. You know, she's
great.
Even funnier.
She's great.
So that's what I would say in terms of the challenges of TMS. And then, of course, strategic like decisions as to, you know, going on YouTube and stuff like that. And then also squeezing in the new, like, I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit later on, but being a co-podcaster and being a co-business partner, and now being friends, it's like the different labels that you have to contend with. But then in terms of the highlights, it's been great. It's been great. It's been amazing just seeing and hearing about some of the progress that a lot of women have made in the past 12. That has been beautiful. Like, it just makes my heart sing when I see like messages that are like, hey, I spoke to my parents after I listened to that episode on, you know, family trauma, and we're making progress, or, you know, I decided to do this in my life or take the leap, and this is what it's yielded. So for me, just the highlight, the consistency of knowing that this podcast is actually more than a podcast. It's really about purpose. And knowing that, like, this is doing something out there. Like, we've got our corner of the internet where we're actively helping people become better. So that's been cool. Like, that's probably the big highlight. And then, of course, again, I get to do this with my best friend. Like, I get to show up to work with my best friend, and between the, you know, nitty gritty and difficult, you know, decisions, being able to still banter with you,
we laugh,
grow, evolve with you, go get food, still hang out with you and stuff like that. And knowing that there's someone that gets it. It's really hard when you enter this arena to be around people that get it. So I'm eternally grateful for that. Same. And also eternally grateful for the support that we've gotten from our family and our friends as well. You guys have been riders. You guys have been riders, because it's not been easy supporting the TMS internally.
Oh, listen. TMS is like, it's become a huge part of our lives, to the point where like we're constantly rescheduling things. We're constantly having to move things around. We're constantly having to put other work on the back burner to make this a priority, because it's a priority to us. And it's caused sometimes to put us in a bit of hot water. I've had to say a few like no's to a lot of stuff and be like, TMS. And it's like, you just started this thing a year ago, and now it's kind of coming to take over your life. And it's like, Yeah.
It's like, hold on, we have to go. The sisters in South Africa need it.
They need something right now.
It's like the sisters in Brussels, like we've got something.
Yeah.
For them, so.
Yeah, spot on.
And also the global reach. I think,
listen, one of my biggest highlights is the sisters that have come. You guys are so funny. You're so wise.
Hilarious.
And it's so nice to, obviously we put out content and your audience finds you, blah, blah, blah. But to just share the same, like similar humor, the wit, even when you disagree with us, it's like you're so invested in this community that you disagree so respectfully. And I think sometimes the internet can be so rogue. And one thing that we really had to decide, like you were saying in that business relationship, was what is TMS actually going to be?
Yeah.
Because we're not just here trying to do clickbait. And so we've had to take so many turns in the nature of the content we make and stuff like that. And we don't just want to be for views.
Yeah.
And I think that has always been one of the things that has been so hard to like tiptoe.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to just be for views. And then to see people be so receptive that they realize they're not just for views. I've got to keep coming back here every week. I've got to keep supporting them every week. They're still feeding into me every week. This isn't just entertainment. And I think that's one thing about TMS that like had just made me so, it's warmed my heart. This isn't just entertainment. This is a community. And like
life,
when we, exactly, this is life. And when we say that every week, it's not just us saying it. It's actually happening.
Yeah.
And it's not because we're forcing it, but the sisters are making it happen.
Yeah.
And so when we call you guys sisters and stuff like that, you guys really are like, we always have you in our minds, on our hearts. We pray for y'all. We think what's going to actually help them grow and glow. Let's stay true to that. We have to show up for them. Yeah, man. Highlights for me, everything you said, the growth, the global reach, the banter, the memes. Oh my gosh. Certified meme page now.
Bruh, we need to have like an offshoot page of
just memes.
Because
and you're amazing at that. Renee is in charge of all the Instagram. I just sent her the video stuff. I'm like, make it into magic.
Coming from you, Miss actual editor, graphic extraordinaire.
Yeah, man. And I think even like getting to grow in those talents. I think one thing I told myself this year, I want to create more. I thought that would manifest on my YouTube channel and it didn't. And it was this. And it's like, what a perfect thing to put my efforts to.
Honestly.
What a worthy cause. So that kind of takes us on to then talking about, oh my God, and live show.
Bruh. Live show.
Who would have thought that after 12 months, less than 12 months, we would be like, let's have a live show and it sell out and girls come and have fun.
The girl party of the year, baby.
How about
that? That's right.
How about that?
That's
crazy.
And show up in person.
Yeah.
That shows dedication.
Yes.
And
to pay for the tickets, let's keep it a buck. Like, because obviously it wasn't free for us to hold. We gotta pay for it, and we paid for it.
But the investment we made into that live show, baby. We
did that whole thing, literally, if I'm gonna be honest, like out of faith.
Yeah.
The money we put into that before we even sold a single ticket, we were looking at our events manager, Raquel, like, Raquel,
we need to make this work, baby.
How is this gonna happen? But I also think the people it's allowed us to meet along the way has been such a blessing.
From
like
way back in the beginning. Listen, shout out to our sister Lydia.
Oh,
that was amazing.
It's Lydia, Raquel, the sponsors of the live show, the business owners of that. It's brought such beauty into our lives. It's joyful. Like similarly, the work is a lot. I think some of the lowlights is all those sacrifices. I work every Sunday on TMS stuff. Like I'm always at the studio and it's a Sunday and I'm like, I'm leaving work on Sunday night at like 11 p.m. because I'm doing TMS stuff. And it's like, but this is worth it. Every bit of it. So yeah, man, we are thankful that you guys really take up the content because we put in our literal hearts and souls, guys. I'm being so honest with you. We have cried over this.
Bruh.
We have prayed so hard over this. We have
lost a lot of things.
A
lot of things.
And we have gained way more.
We have gained much.
So then that kind of takes us on to talking about our friendship.
Yeah.
obviously y'all know us as co-hosts of this podcast.
Yeah, man.
Your online sisters. We are best friends, but we are best friends. And I think that thing you emphasized on after TMS stuff, after all those meetings, we have to come offline and be friends in real life. And this year,
you're right.
This year hasn't just been building TMS, it's been transitions, moving, paying for new things, job transitions, business transitions. Like it's so many things that has been happening naturally. Health, family, all our siblings like went away to uni. My mum moved to another country. Like it was so much.
Yeah.
Let's review how our friendship has evolved over the last 12 months.
So I think what's been interesting about the evolution of our friendship is we've actually been hanging out. We've been in each other's presence a lot. Like a lot more than I think we've ever.
We've been in each other's face.
Business. As in, it's gotten to the point where I get concerned if I don't hear from you in
facts.
Like a day.
Like if 24 hours go by and I haven't heard from Renee, it's like, why haven't you called
Hello?
me? What's going on? Are you all right?
Are you dying? Are you dying in need of help?
Literally.
So even that transition, because it was like, before it was like, oh, maybe once or twice a week we'll have like a long conversation. Yeah. Now it's like, no, actually, we're speaking every day.
Yeah. Oh, literally, like we'll end our phone calls with, I'll probably speak to you again today, but bye.
It's like, if you need anything, call me. Yeah, I probably will.
I will.
And it's just even like the transition in our phone calls, because we'll talk about things like business and then life and then like just everything in between. I think the longest stint we've done so far is that 6-hour phone call. I'm still thinking about it.
And it was literally, and it always starts with, I'm just calling you for something.
That's the thing.
I'm just calling you for something quick.
It's like, what were we speaking on the phone for 6 hours?
Round the houses, and it's so nice because it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like, ugh, why is Renee on the phone? Yeah. It's like, Renee's calling me.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And it's like, I like that.
Same.
Like, I really love that. And we were close before. We're damn close now.
Boy.
Like, really close. Because I think when you talk to someone that much and you're also having to be professional and relational with them, the vulnerability. Our friendship has become so much more vulnerable and transparent than ever before. And that was like hard territory for both of us because we are very strong, independent and closed off people.
Yeah.
So then to have to let each other into not just what I'm going through. I think that's sometimes easy to share. This is what I'm thinking and this is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Talk me off the edge.
Yeah, talk me off the edge.
Talk me off the edge.
Yo, listen, without going into too much details, the amount of like talk me off the edge, not necessarily in the sense of, actually talk me off 100%. The edge, but like mentally, the times that I've literally called Courtney, dude, I'm just like, Courtney.
We will be crying. Girl. We will be like, I'm on the verge of literally having a fit.
I'm out of here.
I'm literally
out of here.
And it's like, okay, do we trust in each other enough with each other's destinies? And I think that has been one of the things where I've been like, this year doing TMS really pulled out the sisterhood in our friendship.
For sure.
It was like, you guys just can't talk the talk. Oh, you're going to walk this out.
You're going
to walk
Lord
this
have mercy. Out. To the point, like, we've had the uncomfortable conversations as well. Like, we had to really dig deep. We really had to, like, analyze, okay, even things like communication, the way that we speak to each other. What are the things that we like? Like, what do we do if this happens? When this happens, what's our response? Yeah. Like, all of these things were part and parcel of the territory that we've really stepped into as a result of this. And always knowing that, like, there's someone that, whilst I've got your back and I'm carrying your burdens, you equally carry my burdens. It's such a... Listen, when they say in the Bible, as iron sharpen iron, you're literally David to my Jonathan. Like,
and I think about that every day. And I think to myself, like, I'm not going to get emotional on the podcast.
not us tearing up on the last episode.
What's going on?
I know.
I think what's interesting is this year of our friendship has taught me two very important things. And I'm really appreciative. I'm not going to get emotional anyway. I'm really appreciative of the fact that, like, I feel like when we started TMS, it was very much so us doing this together. And I think this whole year has been us literally feeling like we're pregnant with a vision together. And we've had to push so hard. And I think sometimes those moments of pushing, both of us had to do that not in each other's presence. Like there's been so much having to be by myself and be like, I love Renee. Can I keep doing this? But also it's like, I feel like being your friend and being your sister has actually forced me to lean on God more. Because it's like, not because you're a challenge, but you're drawing out something so deep from inside of me that it's like, I need to, the way you love me, the way you respect me, the way you support me, the way you encourage me, it's like, I then need to go and be like, God, like, how did I get a friend like this? And then it just requires so much of me to humble myself and love you that exact way, like that exact. And it's, you set a serious high bar. Like if I say I'll treat you the way you treat me, sorry, no. If I say I'm going to treat you the way you treat me,
don't be giving me the eye contact now.
Yeah, let's just talk into the mics. That bar is set so high just because of the person that you are. And I know it's not easy because I'm mad. I actually know it. And like, it's not even on one of those tips of like, Renee's my everything, she's my be all and end all. Because I think when people hear the way I talk about you, they're like, rah, like this is like your, and I'm like, yeah, because that passage in the Bible that talks about like a good friend sticks closer than a brother, that's you,
mate.
Like that's there's it sets a standard for everything else in my life. Your dedication, like I think this year has given me, because we talk so much and we're actually working together now, it's shown me, I always knew you were smart, you were dedicated, all of that, but the excellence you put to things and the way you do things and your mind, your ideas, the way you make things happen has challenged me. Like it has pulled something out of me that I didn't really know was there. And I'm so like appreciative. I don't think this is one of those things, oh, that's my best friend. This is, God sent me a destiny helper. Like God actually sent me an angel. And it's not to gas you. It's actually, I thank God every day for your life. Like if I look at my prayer journal, the amount of times your name is there, God must be thinking, sis, it's okay. Other requests, I know. But it's like, no, like I will pray for you as hard as I pray for me. And in praying for you, it makes me pray hard for them. Do you get what I mean? And like for you sisters, because it's like, you really can't do life alone. And I think it's easy to feel like that as when you're really independent and you're really self-aware and you're used to being like eldest daughter syndrome, parentification, like so many of the topics we've talked about on the podcast, mummy and daddy issues, it's stuff we've lived. Like it's cut us deep. The reason why sometimes we're here, we're shouting, and it's because as I'm editing it back, I'm like, we've lived it. We are talking to us. And so, yeah, man, it's as we're talking about these things, because we've been through it, it shapes the way you trust people. And I'm just so thankful that you have proven yourself trustworthy. Like it's hard sometimes because I'm not like the most, I don't rely on people a lot because so many people have let me down, and yet you've like never let me down. And I think that's it's a blessing to know that you have a case study in your life where someone actually showed up. Like your parents may have let you down, your siblings may have let you down, but I have a friend that I can look to.
Girl.
Cut the cameras, dead ass.
Cut the cameras.
I have a friend that I can look to as an example of what it looks like to actually pass those tests. So yeah, thank you. That's what I want to say. And see.
I'm first off,
big mad
that you started off, because I feel like I'm gonna be you know when you're crying so much. And then when you did
can you just
gather breath and you go
oh, anyways, yeah.
Courtney.
We're not this mushy in real life. I promise
we're not. We're real G's. We banter most of the time. But honestly, when I say the honor and privilege is all mine, like, I don't think you understand.
Now I feel mad awkward.
I know, because it's like I just give you my everything, man. But that's important. And I think it's beautiful to know that you see me almost, if not exactly the same way that I see you. Like, having someone that shows up for you consistently and knowing that, like, no matter what, there's someone that I can go to. Because I've never had that. Like,
always.
For a really long time in my life before meeting you, the inconsistency or, you know, the trauma or having to be the person that shows up for everybody else, it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's actually through you demonstrating that to me, that's what pushes me when it comes to TMS, because I don't want any sister out there to live a life where they don't have this.
Yeah.
And thinking that there are people, like, when we hear the dilemmas, when we think about friendships and stuff like that, yeah, the romantic stuff is cool. And, like, you know, obviously romantic relationships are different, but actually having a friend that I can be like, yo, I don't have to hide any part of myself. And that's been so hard, because that's something that I've struggled with for a really long time in my life, where it's like, oh, you're cool, like, oh, you're doing this, or like, you're really smart, but actually being able to go to you and be like, actually, Courtney, I'm feeling kind of crap right now. Or like, I'm going through this, or like, I don't match up to this image of excellence that a lot of people have. Just having the space to breathe and go, hey sis, these are the pieces. Yeah. I need you to hold them. I need you to hold them. SOS.
Flags.
The flags.
Big time.
And the fact that, like, even as a human, like, you're smart, you're funny, you're actually funny. There's not a lot of funny people.
This is another thing. People think you're funny. But until, like, there's a level of funny that we are, that I feel like very few other friends I have that with. Yeah. It's so, every time we laugh, like, guys, you haven't seen laughter. This podcast, we cut out so many things, but you still haven't seen the laughter when we could die. We could die. Even when she had COVID, the way we were laughing, I was even scared. I said, God, let me not assassinate.
Let me not kill her. Let me not send her to you early.
But it's laughter that's not just banter. It's laughter that actually brings joy. Like, joy. Like, my day could be going terrible, and it's like, let me just tell her this BS that's going on, and I know I'll come off the phone happy.
This is some dumb ish happening right now. And you're just like, yeah, let me call Courtney. But even in that, knowing that there's somebody that shows up for me, someone I can depend on, and someone that challenges me to show up. Like, the fact that I love you is a big reason why I show up for TMS. In the times when it gets hard, in the times where I'm tired, in the times where I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do this, I'm like, do you know what? For the love of Courtney and for the love of this community, I'm going to show up today. Because this is more than just a thing that we do because, oh, we think it's interesting, or we want clout, or we want to be famous. We're genuinely motivated by the fact that there's so many women out there that need this kind of friendship, need this community, and need that extra push to do what 100%. They were called to do. And the way that you push me, the way that you believe in me, hell, I don't think there's very few people that believe in me the way that you do. Even on the days where I don't believe, there are days where I'm just like, what does Courtney see in me? Because I'll be dead. You know the ones where you're crying in the mirror and you catch sight of your face, a tear rolling down your cheek. I'm like, what? I'm like, girl, what the crying when there's nothing coming up.
Nothing there.
What does this girl see in me? But because of the way you see me, the way that you believe in me, the way that you push me.
Oh man, same.
I am so motivated. Like, there's very few people that brighten my day like you do. And that informs all of my dedication towards being a better person. And as you said, the fact that it translates across into all of my other relationships. If you don't know about Courtney in my life, you're not important to me. Quite frankly. If you don't know, if I haven't said anything to you about Courtney, you're not important enough in my life. Because if you have not met her, you're damn not important enough. You're damn not. You're damn not. Man. To the point where it's just like, yeah, That's my sister.
Yeah, that is my sister.
That's my sister. It's not even a best friend. That's my home. She's finally coming down to see dog. I'm really happy. See dog. I'm really happy. That's my chargy.
That honestly, and it's mad because I think the way female friendships are framed in media and stuff like that, like I think being friends with you has made me see that sisterhood really is a life-changing force. And that's why we go so hard with TMS, because similarly, I'll be editing 3 videos a week. We have showed up, for the last 12 months, you have gotten an episode every week, apart from when season 1 ended. But in 2020, we gave you 2 episodes a week.
Can you imagine?
2 episodes a week.
Mind you, we're still doing TMS Plus, so we show up 3 times
a week. We show up 3 times a week. That's hard. I've not always been the most consistent person. And yet consistency has to some degree come so easily because I know I'm rubbing off of you. And like the way you influence me, and it's that same thing in my head. I don't feel like editing today. You're not the only person you're letting down here. Renee has expectations. This is her thing too. Mate. And like now being business partners, it's like, it's a new level of having to be humble, having to be respectful, having to be a good listener, having to serve you. And I also think that that's actually been a privilege. Like it's such a privilege to be like, Renee, what can I help you with? Because people often come to me and they're like, what can I help you with? And I'm like, oh, nothing. But then it's like, no, let me press you to ask you, what can I help you with? What can I do? Because I know your load is heavy and I'm here to help you lighten that load. And so actually stepping into that and being like, I want to see you reach where it is you want to be. And I know you feel the same thing about me. There's no doubts about it. So it's like, I can give my all because this is a safe place.
For sure.
I love that.
It feels like climbing a mountain. And have you, like when you're going with someone, sometimes you'll like slip up, but knowing that there's someone that will pull you back up.
Yeah.
Like, I got, you ain't slipping.
Not at all.
Because if you fall, all of us are falling.
Going down.
You're not. And then that person now, getting their foot back in the right place and even surpassing you and being like, okay, cool. It's my opportunity now to help you up here. And just knowing that across so many different spheres in life, even like beyond TMS, the fact that I can come to you about literally anything and everything is so important. Like there's literally no part of my life where I feel like I need to hide from you. And even going through the process and having someone that's committed to doing that with you, that's also outside of a romantic relationship too. Because I think we often think these things are, reserved for, oh, you gotta be my husband to know me like this. And it's just
facts.
No, you can actually get that for a little bit of that sense of fulfillment from your friends, and being able to ask you even stupid questions. I'll be out here. I'll come to court. You guys don't understand how funny we are. I'll come to Courtney and be like, girl, if I killed somebody at 3 and I called you at 3 a.m. in the morning, what would you do? Or like, what would you do if you did X, Y, Z? Because I'm a very, what's the word? Eccentric person. And being able to bring that eccentricity in here is important.
To this arena.
Yeah.
I think what's mad as well, in TMS becoming what it's becoming, growing past what we thought it would be. We've now evolved into like business partners, co-producers, stuff like that, community builders. With that, we're having to make a lot of business decisions.
Yeah.
And I think being able to see and then display that sisters and friends can actually make money moves and business moves together. This isn't even just I'll introduce you to someone. This is let's do this together.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen. Yeah. Being able to share vision with someone. Because my business, I've been self-employed, literally on my own, solopreneur for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And then TMS happened. It's like, I'm doing something with someone else. That's a challenge. That's completely new. And I'm not going to lie to you, everything I was doing before my own the ghetto. I like it here. I like this.
It is nice. It is nice having someone, and also in terms of like your experience as well, being able to draw from somebody who's actually been owning a business by themselves. It's great. Because there'll be times I'll be like, so Courtney, what do you think we should do here? Because I don't know. But it's even the same with you. There's so many things that, guys, I've literally, and this has been us since secondary school, yeah?
I have been YOLOing my way through life. Like, I am very much, I was telling one of our other friends, like, I'm just not a very organized person. Like literally, I'm very like, what will be, que sera, que sera. And she was just like, yeah, like, I don't know how you've gotten where you are. I said, oh my God. They see it too. Renee is the complete opposite. I'm like revised the night before. Renee's like, I'm revising from term 1, week 1. In the womb. I know this is happening. And then to balance that, it's like, yo, this is nice. Everywhere I'm weak, you're strong. And that's mad.
And vice versa, man. Because even that, you know, que sera, sera attitude is handy. Sometimes you actually, sometimes you actually got to enjoy things. And I think even for me, like, because I tend to err on the side of, I kind of like structure or I like things that are organized and stuff like that. Your adaptability to like a lot of like changing things has been so handy because, you know, the boat will rock. Oh yeah, Courtney, steer the wheel. The boat is rocking.
Not Courtney, steer the wheel.
Steer the wheel. My dear, your time, arise. Your time has come.
Honestly, our friendship has blossomed. I think one thing I will say though, it's become so TMS heavy that it's like, even then, it's like, do I need to see you every day? To then have balance.
Like we have to be mad intentional about like spending time with each other that we just TMS. It's like, we do TMS, but it's like, we're actually friends too. We hang out. We do fun stuff together.
We have to. It's energizing. It's refreshing. Like we're about to go on a break between season 2 and season 3. And we get to just celebrate all our accomplishments. And also I love how we are just so pumped when we achieve something.
Yeah.
Like, I think we haven't had too many like failures. God has been so faithful because we've been like, we're doing this, let's see if it works, and it works. But the way we celebrate with each other and like we acknowledge and we actually take time to praise each other. Like we know we're not doing this alone, but it's so important to make each other feel valued and valuable. Yeah. And I think we do that with such intentionality. Yes, it's actually so beautiful to see, man. If you don't have friends, I highly implore thee to do it.
And as I've said before, Courtney is taken. Because you know people be listen in the same way you see them couple YouTubers and all them man there.
Stay out of my man's DMs.
You better stay out of Courtney's DMs. Don't be out here saying, "Hey sis, you looking for a best friend?" The space is occupado.
Oh, also something I need to mention. Your wisdom. Last year, obviously, I saw it. Our whole friendship, we've been able to talk to each other and stuff like that. But having to sit down every week and film multiple pieces of content where you're giving people advice and then coming to you in my own life and you giving me advice, it's like, Renee is wise beyond her years.
Man, I'm coming from you.
And it's not like, oh, I'm just saying that, or yeah, you're smart. No, it's deep-rooted, deep-seated wisdom. And then on top of it, you're so humble. You have degrees from top world-class universities. Oxford,
should
Harvard.
I bring out a mirror or something like that?
No. But you're working on so many things, and yet you're my friend. It's like, you're my friend.
I mean, coming from a whole, you know, how many figures was your business doing? Something like that, you know, something like a little 6 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone can say that.
Listen.
And you acting like you ain't come from Cambridge Ridge.
Came
of Ridge over there, top. I'm not going to say the first is Oxford. That's the first because that's a deep-rooted, what do you call it? Passer that we have. Deep-rooted passer. But your wisdom, the way that you articulate yourself, I think is just beautiful.
Anyways.
Stop it. The sisters can attest. Yeah, we can. Spider-Man. The sisters can attest to it. But sometimes, Courtney, you talk and I'm literally just left speechless and in awe. And I'm just like, it's such a privilege to be able to do this with you, but also to like have those moments where I can actually sit back and say, yeah, Courtney's got this one. I ain't got nothing else to add. Here is my friend.
There you go.
There. She said everything that
Let her shine.
She said even more than I thought was necessary to say. And knowing that you've got me covered. You've got the sisters covered.
Always.
The fact that you think so deeply about these things, the fact that you channel your experiences in such a way that people can actually really draw from that and draw energy from that, I think is beautiful.
I'm glad we can put this pain to use, boy.
Absolute boy.
That's
they
what
call
I'm
that
glad
trauma.
Of.
Glad
all of that pain was not wasted. But yeah, I mean, you guys know we celebrate each other and we love each other so much. And I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do the same with your friends.
Go get one.
Like, don't let your friends, don't take them for granted. Don't let them know how much you appreciate them. Let them know how much you love them, how much you believe in them. And be super intentional and respectful and have a true servant heart in your friendships.
For sure.
Like, it's so important in order to, because I think so many of us can get very dissatisfied with our friendships. Like, oh, you're not doing what you used to. And we kind of just let things naturally run their course. But one thing I've learned is friendships really take a lot of effort as both of you are evolving, and you have to put that effort to constantly change, do the internal work, face your own demons as well in private, and really appreciate the fact that 2 really is better than 1.
For sure.
Telling yourself, oh, I can do this all by myself and whatever. One thing our friendship in this year has done, though, is really increase my belief in collaboration and how much further we could go. TMS is an idea I've had since the first year of uni. Didn't know how it was going to manifest. Didn't have a damn clue. It would not ever have gotten here. Ever, if it wasn't for you. There is absolutely no way. And I can tell you, as much as you tell, oh, Courtney, you can speak, you could, because that's not all it takes. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's not just talent. Like, you have made this happen. Like, you have actually made this happen, because there's nothing that would have pushed me to do it like this. Like, everything with TMS, Renee, she's the one who's making sure y'all are fed. I'll tell you that.
She's the one knocking up, knock on my door.
Yeah, we've got to get this done. And it's constantly reminding each other of the vision and all of that. And that's something I wouldn't have been able to do on my own. So I think that the grace was not on the idea. Like, people may think TMS is such a great idea, but we always say this and people always say it to us. Somebody can't take TMS and replicate it because they aren't us. Do you get what I mean? Like, they don't have what we have and what we've been so privileged to actually have with each other. That's not to be arrogant. That's not to be pompous. But it's to say, like I was saying, all the content that you see, all the content that you hear are actual manifestations of what we are having to go through in real life. The things the demons we're fighting, the things that we're having to confront within our own psyches, and then our own relationship with each other. Do you get what I mean? Like, if we're not good here, this is not going to be good. No. Trust me. This is only going to last 2 weeks.
We're out of here.
This is not going to be good.
We're out of here.
Because we're 2 very headstrong people and we're 2 very busy people. So yeah, man, that's all to say. This session may have been, I don't know how it felt for you, because we were just fangirling with each other.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, this is going to be this is a fangirl podcast for Courtney and Renee. We hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, but we haven't had a chance to really sit down and say it all. So
I know.
This was great. Well, clear the sinuses.
Exhale.
But let's talk about, okay, that's our friendship dynamic. Wider friendship, because myself and you are in a actual friendship circle.
Yep.
And that has taken, and we wanted to put this in because that has taken some very interesting turns over the last 1 year since we started TMS. Our friends, we've all been friends since sixth form. So since we were 16, 17.
Yeah.
Now we are 24, turning 25. Some have turned 25, and it's like, whoa, y'all are old.
Oldies.
Literally, and some of like each have like intergroup relationships have lasted since we were like 11.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What has changed? What have we learned?
So first of all, it's not easy. It's really not easy. It's one thing to kind of like have relationship with one person, but it's another to consider this is a group dynamic, which means that it's not just relying on the group, but also relying on the individuals within the group. That's really important. And I think we've definitely had our highs and lows. I think this year really made us aware of the importance of intentionality, really, really aware of the importance of being very intentional with your relationships, because a lot of our friendships were born out of, as you said earlier in like one of our other podcast episodes, convenience. We saw each other all the time. It was easy to maintain a friendship when you saw people all the time. Then we went to university. Everyone went to different universities, but it was still convenient to like catch up and stuff in between lectures and stuff like that. And it was always you know what's up when you see the girls. We still had we'll catch up at, Christmas Eve and whatnot. As we stepped into our early 20s, mid 20s, it's like, oh, sugar. we've got businesses, we've got, you know, houses and cars and stuff. We've got
relationships.
We got men involved now, like
money issues, money, like parents,
family. So there's so much that everyone is going through that it becomes really difficult to keep those dynamics like in the same way that we did. And on top of that, everyone is evolving individually.
Yeah.
So everyone else is doing something different. So us cleaving onto like certain folks in the group and stuff like that. And it actually got to a point where we had a mini intentional intervention, which was really fun. Which was actually really, really positive, where basically we all kind of had like a round table where we sat down and we reviewed our friendships. We talked about, you know, any grievances. First of all, we actually reflected on the positives in our like group dynamic as well as individual dynamic. So we spoke about, you know, what were our favorite memories, why we're actually friends. We reminded each other of like why we're friends. And it's because, you know, some of the reasons that our friends shared was because we're actually really interesting, fun and good people. We love spending time with each other. We're funny. We have similar experiences. We're all motivated to see each other win. Those were some of the reasons that were cropping up. And then reflecting on some of the experiences that we had, you know, some of the funny like flagship, like, we all went through this at the same time. I'm still thinking about that dastardly trip to Nottingham. Hold tight. When we were 19, we traveled to Nottingham, and maybe one day we'll tell you guys the story, and we'll get the girls to come and narrate. But that trip from top to bottom, train wreck. Have you ever seen Final Destination? When I say that trip was like Final Destination, you couldn't run from it.
Oh man.
But yeah, reflecting on the positive experiences, the funny experiences, and then we did the deep work of saying, okay, cool. So is there any like things that we should be aware of? Is there any things that people are going through? Is there any kind of like relationship issues, both in terms of romantic issues, but also within us? Like, how are these dynamics playing out? What is on your mind?
And even like really hard questions like, has anyone been disappointed? Does anyone have any issues with anyone else? And we had to like bring it all up to the surface. It was all awkward as hell, but it was amazing.
But it was so necessary. And it was just like at the end of it, everyone was like, wow, I feel good. And I feel happy. And I've been reminded of the importance of intentional friendships, but intentional friendships with you guys. So, and as a result of that, and it's definitely something that we're committed to continuing to do in our like friendship group. But as a result of that, like, I have never felt so happy and fulfilled with my friendships, particularly my female friendships, as I do now. Like now I know that, okay, cool. As much as I absolutely love Courtney, like I've actually got a friend here too, and I've got a friend here too. Or there's others that I can actually lean on, or there's others that I can invest in equally, because now everyone feels comfortable to share, okay, cool, I've actually started a business. Guys, can you support? Or like, hey guys, this happened. Like we were celebrating like our friend, or you know, a friend getting a car. It's like, whoa, dude, I'm so happy for you. And being able to actively and intentionally share in everyone's not just wins, but also losses too. Like people sharing like, hey, I'm going through this, guys, can you cover me? Being able to do that with your friends. So I think this year for us, in terms of like our squad, intentionality and really investing in your friendships individually as well as a group is important.
It's made such an amazing turn. Like I think after that meeting, I personally can say I saw such a clear difference in the way everyone acted and just kept showing up. And I think for some people this may sound like, friends, that's what they do, but I don't think you understand how many people, like you said rightfully, are lonely. And like, even if you know a lot of people, do you actually have people you can call on and be like, I'm doing this, I need support, I'm doing this, I need people to show up for me and like literally hold me, I feel weak?
And can you admit that you're lonely?
And can you admit that? And I will personally give an anecdote as to why something like a sisterhood community like this is so important. I went through so much of my life lonely AF. I know a lot of people. A lot of people know me. I didn't have a lot of friends. And like what you were saying, I've got Courtney, but I have other friends. I didn't have that. I just had Renee. And it was me putting a lot on you, and then in an attempt to not put so much on you, I was just holding a lot of stuff to myself, because I always had it in my mind, like I'm hard to get, not hard to get to know, because I'm very eccentric as well, but like it's hard for you to get in. Like it's hard for you to be let into my circle, right? Because of past experiences, and actually sometimes it's a very bad trait to have. And so I always looked at our friends as, yeah, you're my friends. I always like, yeah, we're friends. But do you know me? And do I let you in to know me? It was hard for me.
Yeah.
And in that, I started to realize, actually, these are people who are trying to be there for you.
Yeah.
Stop pushing them away.
Yeah.
And it was one of them ones where I was like, damn, I'm the problem. Like, it's actually me.
Damn, the final boss is you.
Me. I'm actually the problem. Because it's so easy to think, yeah, I can be my own rock. I can support myself. I don't need anybody else. But it's really you just saying, I don't know if I deserve anyone else. I don't know if I can trust anyone else. I'm scared people will let me down. And what they and our wider friendship group has shown me, we're trying not to let you down, actually. We're trying to be here for you. And we are actually willing to do that work. And so what we're saying is, like you perfectly summarized, don't be friends just out of convenience. Be intentional in your friendships, please. Please be intentional in your friendships. Let people know they're appreciated, supported. Learn people as they evolve. But also try and make it clear that you're actually trying.
Yeah.
So that you can have, just having a group of friends.
It's great, man.
There's nothing that I could
do
want
stuff
for.
with them.
Do you get what I mean?
And you get people like, you can do stuff individually. You can do stuff as
together.
A group.
Like, it's so great to take your mind off of work and business and all these things that are super hard. Even get off social media and stop scrolling on your phone. Go and talk to a friend. Go and do all these fun things. And not just, the reason why I even brought this up, not just surface level relationships. I don't want to grab coffee to the end of me, please.
That's how it starts. But if it's continued, no.
And also with so many new people, because oftentimes, especially in the networking, this networking age, people, I want to pick your brain. I want to know more about what you do.
My brain.
No,
stop it.
Thank you. That's work stuff. I just want to be me. And I just want to rest in that. And having a friendship group that allows you to just come, take your wig off.
Be as weird and funny, bro.
Do what? Kick off. Just be you.
When I say our friends have seen us naked in every form. Like actually physically naked. When we went to Morocco and we had to do that naked massage, I was looking at y'all like, well,
ma'am, oh my God, it's set up. Well, you're not going anywhere. Well, you have a mental image of me in the nude. You're not going nowhere.
Just when you thought that intimacy could not continue, you have seen me fully naked.
Honestly, like, it's
and we don't encourage you to stand in front of your friends naked just out of the blue. Obviously, context is important.
You know you can be prosecuted.
Do you understand? Context is important. We were doing a massage together that we had no idea would require us to be pantsless. Facts. Bro, Facts. I felt like a newborn baby after that massage.
It was. I really want another one. We need to do Morocco and Paris all over again.
For sure.
Man. So many good memories, but yeah, our friendships. Thank you to our squad and our friends.
We love you guys, honestly.
Our gal pals, y'all are amazing.
Y'all know who you are. I feel like them, you know, them rappers. Y'all know. Oh, y'all already know.
All of y'all, all the homies from back home. All of y'all. Facts.
Oh man,
facts. Beautiful people, man, and it's so great to observe that beauty
for sure.
So, sisters, just to cap it off, season 2. What are our hopes for TMS in the future?
Oh boy.
The last 1 year, let me just be 100% honest. We are very ambitious people.
Very.
Last year, we wrote down our goals at the end of the year for TMS. We've pretty much 10x'd all of them.
We have, you know.
All of them. It's very much so, how did we get here?
I think one of the goals was, can we get to 10k downloads by the end of the year?
Can we get to 10,000 downloads by the end of the year? We're hitting 100,000 downloads a month.
That's nuts.
How? Who is listening to us?
Hey, sisters. Hey, out
honestly,
there.
And it's not about numbers, and it's not about us seeing you as like this, like this. Yeah, do you get what I mean? It's more so, there's room for this in people's lives. Like, people actually need this. Yeah. People actually, these deep conversations aren't us just being weird. Because I also think growing up, when you want to have these deep conversations, people just think, you're so weird.
Strange.
And it's like, oh, no,
we need you. There's space for your corner of the internet.
Space for you, come here. So that's fine, but that's fun, sorry. So what are our hopes for TMS in the future? We also have a very special announcement, so
keep your ears peeled. In terms of hopes for TMS in the future, in terms of, I guess, the more big picture stuff, this is not just a podcast. This is purpose. This is like, TMS is so much more than a podcast, and you're going to see in the next year. Like, we are so excited about next year, and we're doing a lot of projects as an offshoot of TMS that is all about women's growth in different spaces. So we've been all about holistic wellness and empowerment and stuff like that. I don't want to give too much away, but we're definitely going to be cropping up in friendly neighborhoods near you. We're also going to be making sure that we're supporting the causes that we care about. Women's education, women's finance, women's ownership. We're going to be investing a lot of our women's health. Y'all ain't ready for that one. All you heifers right now that is eating some potato chips, I got my eye on you. We're coming for all of you. But we're really going to be doing some practical, really cool stuff in all of these different areas to make sure that you guys have the resources that you have, that you need. And we're looking forward to welcoming new sisters from all sorts of places. And obviously we're very conscious of the fact that, as Black women, those kind, we can be shoeboxed into this is for Black women. It's not. This is a sisterhood for everyone. So sis, wherever you're from, however old you are, if you feel that this is a community that could be a space for you, join ahead. We're not discriminatory here. Whatever faith you are, listen, we're Christian, but join. We have space for all religions and no religions too. If you're an atheist, agnostic, if you have whatever you believe, if you're believing in astrology, what up?
The stars.
What if Islam? All of you folks, hop on the train. Please. This is really about women's empowerment holistically. So you're going to see a lot more programs, a lot more projects, and a lot more closeness, a lot more of us. But also a lot more of some faces. We're excited about the faces.
We are very excited.
How much detail can we go into? Because
okay, TMS, like we initially said in the beginning, we have been juggling it with a lot of things. The juggling is coming to an end. Career-wise, we have had our heads rocked,
jaw on the floor,
rocked,
bro.
And it's actually such an honor to be able to give this more of our time now. And just sisters, all we ask is you support us.
Please,
I'm telling you, my mum is looking at me like I'm unemployed, telling her this dream I have of a global sisterhood. So please, sis, support. But also, the content that's about to come, our hopes for that. We also want to know what you would like to see. Please. For sure. We really want to give you things that actually help, not just what we think will help you. But I think what's so beautiful about this is, like you were saying about us wanting every sister, every kind of sister. You don't have to look like us, sound like us, believe in what we believe in. Just come believing in the power of sisterhood and community to be able to change life. That's it. But what's more important is, I think we have been positioned in so many different places, and it's been why did we go to these unis? Why do we know these people? Being able to pull resources from places that kind of excluded people that look like us and speak like us and stuff, and be able to funnel that into people we care about. Sisters, if there's one thing I'll let you know about season 3 of TMS and also just 2022 of TMS, we are about to see our sisters win. And we're about to make sure it damn happens.
Absolutely.
We are so I don't know if I would ever be able to put into words how much we kind of guard you guys, and protect you. Want you amazing sisters to know, we stay praying for you. We stay petitioning for you. Give us these resources to give to them. They need it. They're amazing, right? We want to pull so many things from wherever we get access to, whatever door will let us in, and give it back to this sisterhood community. The way you guys have rocked with us, we're rocking hard for you.
100.
Hard for you.
100.
We just want to give you opportunities, resources, platform you, hear you, give you rooms, not just to hear our story, to tell your stories. That's what we're trying to get, build here. It's not just about us.
No.
It can't just be about us.
Listen, it's far bigger than us. The vision is bigger than us.
So come ready to be involved, ready to be interactive, and also to know that this really is a community. This is not just a podcast.
Yeah, it's not just a...
This really is a community.
This is probably the last year of TMF being just a podcast. This is the last year.
So
the first year was the last.
The first and last.
The first and the last, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's actually so true. We are so blessed to have, like you said, this is not just a podcast, this is purpose. We're going to give everything we have to complete this purpose well. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah. And some dates for your diary.
Some dates for your diary, because there's the last two. Don't think don't go anywhere.
Don't be running.
Because we're ending season 2, it doesn't mean we're done for 2021.
It's more of a you ever seen like Bugs Bunny when he's about to run? Yeah. It's more of a, let me puff on my chest because the next race I'm running, I'm about to win.
We're ending season 2 here so we can clear room for some things that are happening in the last 6 weeks of 2021.
Yeah. So the first thing that you need to watch out for is the 1st of December. 1st of December, a very, very personal special announcement will be made on the 1st of December. So keep your eyes peeled on the 1st of December.
Follow us on Instagram, sign up to the mailing list. Subscribe to YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1st of December. And then in terms of when the podcast will be returning, Miss Courtney, can you give us a date for that?
12th of December, season 3 of Two My Sisters. Podcast.
We back, baby.
Back.
I know that's right. We back, baby.
And when I say it's going to be so different, still the same, but different.
I think basically you'll understand once you have, 1st of December.
The 1st of
it's
December.
It's a rolling.
Yeah.
It's a rolling thing. And then the last thing that I will say is 2 things. 28th of December, vision. I'm going to leave it at that.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end it.
I like that.
28th of December, vision. Sisters, we love you.
Wow.
When we say it, we're not joking. There's a lot of faith going into this. There's a lot of walking into the future blind.
We really are.
And just hoping we step on something good.
But hey, look, we trust each other. But more importantly, we trust you guys.
Yeah.
And we trust you guys with this.
Yeah. And we hope you trust us.
In the interim, please feel free to check out all of our past episodes. We have loads for the YouTube sisters. Go back. We got a lot of content back in the day. Yeah. We know that there's some sisters that are new. For the sisters that have been rocking with us, we see you. We love you. All of y'all go back and get the numbers up on those podcasts that are not on YouTube. I'm sure that they will tide you over till the new season drops.
We have like 65, 70 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane amounts of episodes. And the nuggets that we drop in those will still be very much relevant for the next month.
Yes.
And stay tuned on social media. As much as we are taking a hiatus from the podcast streets, you'll still be seeing some things related to some of the announcements that we have to make in the and stay safe.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Wow. Keep sharing.
That's one thing I really want to say. Please share. And also, sis, I know we say it, but this one is actually maybe the most important of them. You need to sign up to the mailing list. Let's just get real honest for a second. As creators, and I'm just very passionate about creators in general, but also as a community, having followers is fantastic. Don't stop following us. Follow us. Subscribe and all of that.
Stay where you are.
But these platforms, and we are all about, the reason why we talk about sisterhood and business and all of that, ownership means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Ownership, being able to collaborate and own things, to create legacy and to create wealth is really important. We don't own YouTube.
Yeah.
We don't own Spotify. We don't own Apple. We don't own Instagram, right? And we don't own anything like it yet. However, having a mailing list, we own that, right? Yeah. We own that. We own it, okay? We own our website. If you can please sign up to the mailing list, it means that we will always be able to reach you. If Instagram goes down, if YouTube goes down, if Twitter goes down, how are you going to see anything that we post? And it's happened recently, right? How are you going to see anything we post or anything we say? And because we are 2022, we are coming hard.
Very
big hard. Okay?
Hammer right down.
Literally, because we are going to, like I said, win. All of us are about to win, not just us. We're about to win, right? We don't want you to miss any of those opportunities. We don't want you to miss any of those resources. We don't want you to miss a thing. Please sign up to the mailing list. I'm going to leave the link in the description below, the direct link to just type in your email. We don't bombard people with emails. We don't spam you at all. We just send you exclusive glow and grow tips. You get first access to a lot of things, and there's going to be more things that you'll be getting access to. So if you're not on the mailing list, please, that's really when you become a part of the community. Right now, it's great having a massive social media platform, but community stuff, get on the mailing list.
Get on the mailing list. Please. That's all we
to mysisters.com. I'm going to leave it in the show notes, in the description. Just click the link and do it. Also wanted to say a big thank you to Betterhelp. That was one of our main sponsors. Not even sponsors, because we weren't sponsored by Betterhelp on any videos, but they gave us an affiliate link. And shout out to all the girls who have started their therapy journey. Let us know if you need any help, you want to see any content or resources on how to navigate that journey. But shout out to Betterhelp because we always let you know we are not licensed therapists.
Yep.
But they are. And we have had to navigate such interesting conversations and really tough conversations, which even for us being 24 years old is very hard to navigate. For sure. And so they have been such an amazing help. So thanks to them, but more importantly, thank you to you. Sis, we are so thankful. And thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Miss Courtney.
Well, you got those dates in your diary? December 1st, December 12th, December 28th. Okay, cool. Sisters, season 2 has come to an end. We wish you nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. We'll be back with you in just a few weeks.
Very soon. Don't go anywhere.
And we are working
Don't go anywhere. Some
hard.
of you are already getting ready to pack your bags and be running.
Nah. We are working very hard over the next 2 weeks.
Very hard.
To bring you something massive. And so, not us sharing it only for the last time. We'll talk to you very soon.
Oh!
And remember, keep glowing.
And growing.
Not you wanting to hold it in.
My heart, me can't take it.
Me can't take it. Keep glowing and growing.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Oh,
see
not
you in
me
2
falling.
weeks,
Bye, guys.